Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Did you fix Pac-Man Fever and now you got Frogger Fever? Well, these are the video game releases of November 1982. Wouldn't you like to get away? And we were last on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum playing Flight Simulation. Here is our next video game release. Our next game released is Frog Race. I know, I'm kind of cheating because all these video games were released in the beginning of November 1982, and we'll just start off with the first one, Frog Race for the TRS-80. Not to be confused with Frog Race, that was in 1978, that was a betting simulation, and you bet we didn't play that one. Here's the only ad I found for Frog Race. You can see it's a frog's life is a hard one. They've built a 6-lane motorway right next to the crocodile-infested river. It sounds awfully familiar, right? Only £5.95. Model 1 or Model 3 TRS-80. This marks the 134th game we played on the computer that originally came out in 1977. Let's pop in and play some Frog Race. This is by Alan Morrison, published by All Gray Software, the beginning of November 1982. All right, so this one, I believe we just type Frog Race and go. I got my joystick ready just in case it does work. This is the very first game we've seen by All Gray Software and the very first by Alan Morrison. Way to go, Alan. Look at that, an ASCII frog. It almost reminds me of some of the ASCII frogs we've seen on the Commodore. Oh, wait, we got, that's the frog making noise. Awesome. So we have to get across the river without getting drowned, squashed, or eaten. Rescue Lady Frog for bonus. Win extra frog and move around. So it's the arrow keys to move around, to move our frog. Got it. So clear to start a new game, break to escape. And we're off to the races. It does look like Java the Frog. Oh, joystick control does not work. Is it cursor? Yeah, it's cursor keys only. Oh my goodness. Yes, I think I'm a frog. I can barely tell. I can barely tell if that's the path. But I can barely actually tell where the logs are. I'm guessing that's a log? No, it was not a log. That was that was being squished, I guess. So this is obviously a variant of Frogger. This marks the 30th variant of Frogger that we've seen up to this point. 30 games that are really close to Frogger, but not quite like Frogger. Can I jump here? Okay, good. There you go. I have to imagine I'm jumping in the right spot. Oh, I guess that was the alligator. And I jumped on the head of the alligator, so that's why I died. So cursor key controls only. I have no really animation. I can't really even tell I'm a frog. And I think, did everyone just see the lady frog? I thought in the instructions they were giving us the lady frog was the hashtag as bonus points, but no, look on the log. There's the lady frog represented by a hash symbol. Hashtag lady frog. We have to collect our lady friend for the bonus points. Yeah, I'm represented by what looks like a spaceship, but I'm supposed to be a frog. I think we can make it all the way to this side. Yeah, but it's Frogger. It is functioning well. The way it looks, though, here on the monochrome display of the TRS-80, you can switch up a few of the graphic elements. Right now we're doing black and white, and you can do different things like there's green and gray. So there's different ways you can use the monochrome rather than this one. But you got to admit, this is really hard to see or tell where you are. There it is, Lady Frog. Hashtag Lady Frog. We got it. And the bonus points. I barely made it through that. So yeah, you go level to level. It gets the job done. It is a variant of Frogger. It is on the lower end of all the games you can be playing right now. It does respond well, and it actually is running smoothly. It's very difficult to make out what you're seeing. This is also kind of rare because this was released in the United Kingdom. The very first games we saw on the TRS-80 were in the United States or North America, and so here in a United Kingdom developed video game, it's kind of rare to see that on the TRS-80 only. Yeah. It does sound like that. You bet, Marshall. Oh man, those sounds are awesome. Great, and we can even do a high score. Let's do it. Oh, no, you can just do cron. I'll be cron. All right, we got the gist of it. The sound and sound effects of the TRS-80 are ringing true. Of all the games you can play right now across all home computers, 30 Frog variants is a lot, and that's across everything, all systems, all platforms, 30 games that play around Frogger. So at this point, it's still kind of fresh. Frogger's still an ingenious idea. Looking over the chat, I see some 2.5 and 3-star ratings. Oh yeah, controls work well. They're cursor keys, though, controls not using the joystick. So I don't really rate it as high for that. I know, right? And we really didn't race anybody, but at this point, I'm expecting to get Frogger games that are just taking any name of Frog or Frogger, Hopper, all that stuff. Yeah, right? Yeah, no flies. Sorry, Manly. Of all the games you can play right now across all home computers, it actually is okay. I'm on the fence if I want to call it bad in the 2-star range or the 2.5. Yeah, right? Yeah, they tried, and it does work well as Frogger. It's just very simple. So I'll also say 2.5 stars. Yeah. 3 tops, I won't even go as high as 3, but still around the average range. All right, so there you go, Frog Race. Let's see what our next game is. All right, so forget the kind of like Frogger or Frogger variants. Let's play official Frogger for the TRS-80. I want to see what this one is like. Let's take a look at the box for official Frogger. Oh yeah, the official Frogger. This one's by the Cornsoft Group, the 7th game we've seen by them, and it's now on your TRS-80 computer. We've already seen this artwork before with boxes too. Very well done. He's a business Frogger, running across the road to get some work done. You move your frog vertically or horizontally using the joystick. Yeah, we got it. There's the scoring, everything to load the game and play the game on our TRS-80. So this is official, going from rip-off Frogger on the TRS-80 to official Frogger. Here's the other artwork we have for Frogger. It also had another box scan that I found. Model 1 or Model 3. You need 48K for this one. And look down the bottom left, it's Radio Shack. I love it. So this was our 135th game we've played on the TRS-80. There's a lot more other games out there for the TRS-80, but here on the show, that's what we've seen up to this point. Flip over on the other back, you can see, can you help your froggy friend survive the perilous dangers of fast-moving cars and hungry crocodiles? Nice. They're showing the screenshots right there. Got some game information down on the bottom left. Average completion time is 5 minutes. Yeah, it's arcade. There is the cassette tape that we're going to pop into play on our TRS-80. Yes, I want to see some real Frogger. And if you have the 5 1/4 floppy disk, there is that one as well. We don't granularize here and break down every game on every disc, cartridge, and cassette. We usually draw the line there. There it is, another 5 1/4 floppy disk we would have played too. Although there's many Frogger adaptations for the TRS-80, this Cornsoft version, written by Robert Pappas, is licensed by Sega and is the official Frogger, the first official Frogger for the TRS-80. Here's the manual for Frogger. Way to go, Robert Pappas. There he is, written right there. And this is the second game we've seen by Robert Pappas here on the show. The other one was Bounceoids. And Mysosis, if I'm pronouncing that right, is the company that is the publisher. One of the publishers. Yeah, oh, there it is. Robert Pappas with music. Just remember that. The directions show us here keyboard controls, but we can also use the joystick as well. There's all the point values. You get 5 frogs home safe. That's where you're going to get the most. And it shows us how we can boot everything up. Oh, man, I'm really excited for this one. Let's pop in and play official Frogger. This is by Mysosis or Cogito Software. Beginning of November 1982. Official. And this one we're loading right in. Frogger. Let's do this. Oh, I'm so excited. Whoa. And remind you, we're playing on the TRS-80. Wow. That might be the best music we've heard on the TRS-80. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I'm hearing 2 different channels. What in the world's happening here? Wow, that's amazing. So the premise of Frogger is simple. The goal is to guide as many frogs back to their homes, crossing a busy road, dangerous river in the process. Yeah, we got 5 different difficulty levels to choose from. I want to go with directions, so let's do directions. Oh, is that the high score table? Oh, look! They have some high scores already there. We can clear the high scores, but we will not. All right, how many players do we want to go with? If you do 2 players, you don't get to play at the same time, so I'm just going to go with 1 for right now. The look of the frog is awesome. So skill levels we can play against. Let's go with skill level 4. and go. Ready, player one. Man, the music's way too good. There you go, look at this. Wait, is it playing... I died really fast, but is it playing music while I'm playing the game? That is amazing. Wait a second. Maybe we went crazy difficulty level. So I'm able to play this with a joystick. Wait, where's my home? Oh, am I supposed to go off the screen? Are they going to do the... They're going to do the flip screen where we have two different screens for Frogger? That is awesome. So I went to the end and I was a little shocked. I didn't know what to do next. Yes, can you hear... Can everyone hear the little bits of music happening in the background? They're using the music in between everything else. Wow. we died very, very fast. We did do the highest level of difficulty. I was surprised it was going to be that difficult, but I was also surprised. I'm just surprised all over. Hearing the music at the same time, that's crazy. No way. All right, let's do this again. How many players? One player. Let's do skill level 0. Slow it down a little bit and appreciate it, yeah. The music is way too good for the TRS-80. Yes, it is. It's playing in the background. How in the world did they do that? This is not like we're playing on the Atari... What? And it's doing flip scrolling? Oh my gosh. It does sound like the music's chugging, but it is so admirable that we have music. All right, can we get all the way to the end? Yes, we can. Wow. And it's playing the music. Look at that. That's the famous theme music, taken from the Japanese children's song, Inu no Omawari-san. They couldn't have got the rights to that music unless they had the official Frogger. Now, bear in mind, we've already played official Frogger on the Atari home computer, which has a dedicated sound chip, the Bogey chip. Here on the TRS-80, I have no idea where this is coming from. Can someone in the chat explain what's going on? Yes, right? I feel like we're not playing on the TRS-80. We're playing something that was homebrewed from the future. Is this real? Is this real official Frogger that you would have played in November 1982? This is crazy. Yeah, and even though it's chugging the music, it's very quaint, and this plays well. They're giving small animation, very small for Frogger as he moves around, but it's joystick controlled or keyboard controlled. Wow. And the double screens is surprising. Awesome. Well, I'm already having a blast. Way more than I thought I would be. Well, especially after going from Frog Race to this one. Shows you the difference between playing official licensed games in November 1982 based on all the other variants we played. Wow. Right? Of all the TRS-80 games we played to this point, well, I'm already a huge fan of Frogger, so my opinion is going to be biased. But yes, I'm having some of the most fun I've ever had playing on the TRS-80 right here. Let's see if we can make the last one. And we can. 1,000. Oh man, love it. So most TRS-80 games play music during the title screen and sound effects during the game, but Frogger, this one is one of the few ones that's playing background music during the game. Right? There's not a sound controller on the TRS-80. Oh, and we got smashed again. Wow. So, to give you a rundown on official, because we played 30 variants of Frogger that aren't official Frogger. We played the original Frogger in arcades in June of 1981, and then after that, officially, we saw a Frogger on the NEC PC 6001. It didn't look like Frogger. It didn't play like Frogger. It played like something totally different. After that, we saw Frogger officially on the Atari VCS. After that, we saw... Oh, now we got the turtles going down. After that, we saw Frogger on Coleco handhelds officially, and then we saw Frogger on the Atari home computer officially, and then the Apple II. And the Atari home computer is a feat. It looks really, really good and sounds really good too. But yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, if it's not a homebrew, this is impressive. So good. So the only other one that this is competing with on home computers is the Atari home computer or the Apple II version. Oh, we're going to drown again. Poor Frogger can't swim. The current's just too strong. And this is up there with the Atari home computer. Apple II had a little bit of quirkiness to it, at least the first version that we played up to this point. But this is awesome. This plays great. This one's being played on a TRS-80 emulator. Alright, I could keep playing this forever. We got more Frogger to go for the rest of the night. So I'd love to hear from the chat on this one. Of all the games you could play across all home computers right now in November 1982, what would you give Frogger officially on the TRS-80? Would you say this is broken? Would you say it's around the 1-star range? Would you say it's bad, somewhere around the 2-star range? Would you say it's pretty average for all the games, around the 3-star range? Would you say this is great or excellent? Would you say it's around the 4-star range? Or would you say this is one of the best games you could play across all home computers right now? So looking on the chat, I see already a 4.5 star. Wow. Manly's going 4. Yeah, Hidden Gem. I'm with you there. Curtis is 4 as well. Yeah, 4.5. 4s, lots of 4s. I even see a 3-star out there. Roger's saying 3 and then a 3.5. So we're still, no one's saying bad of all the games you could play across all home computers. This is excellent. I'm not going to say it's one of the best games you could play across all home computers right now because we played some other Frogger variants that have 2 players simultaneous play, lots of other features and nuance. This is impressive because of the feat. If this was TRS-80 only, 5 stars easily. But I'm going to say 4 stars. Of all the games you could play across all home computers, it's excellent. Wow. All right, after that, let's see our next game. But after this commercial break, it's time to introduce the newest computer. We're so excited. Or at least she looked pretty excited. It's Tutor, as we're going to be playing it in Japan. Now, the top left says Tomy Tutor, and it's because we're mashing all the games released for the Japanese version of this computer and the North American release, which was Tomy Tutor. This is Frogger, officially on this computer in Japan. Let's take a look at the box. That's cool. Quaint. It's reminding me of the last game we played. This is only the second game we played for the Tutor after Deep 6. And notice in the top left, it says the 16-bit graphic computer. But this box is awesome. They have a really small screenshot in the bottom left. Kind of reminds me of like a Taito advertisement flyer. But the artwork's great. It just revitalizes Frogger for me, just seeing this. And the fact that it's existed right now, it's awesome. I know, right? Get all excited for the 16 bits. But on the home computer space, 16 bits was describing the processor, possibly the bus size. So it's totally different than how they would have described it for consoles. I know, right? But we flip over on the back. Yes. It has everything. Look at that. Frogger. It has turtles, logs, flies. Yes. Flies, Manly. Or everyone that was missing flies from the last version. I am so excited. Do we have any other artwork for Frogger for the Tutor? Or later on the Tomy Tutor? Yeah, there we go. And he's just an example of the screenshot. That's all we got. Let's pop in Frogger to play. This is official by Konami. Published by Tomy in the beginning of November 1982. All right. Every time you boot this system up, you have to tell you want a cartridge. So we pop the cartridge in to play and go. I'm expecting this to be amazing. We have a little bitty ditty, a tiny ditty in the background. This again is 1 or 2 player hot seat. So I'm going to do 1 player, and then you can do amateur or advanced. I'm just going to go with an amateur game. And we are in. Lots of animation coming from Frogger. Joystick controlled. Plays great. Oh yeah, very smooth. Works well. I'm seeing a little bit of the choppiness in the scroll of the logs at the top. But you can definitely see how the Tomy Tutor or the Tutor looks very similar to the ColecoVision, or later the SG-1000 uses the same graphics chip. It's awesome. This marks the 30th game that we've seen by Konami across all systems. Imagine a world where Konami has only been involved in 30 games. That's it. They've done 17 games that are in the arcade. They've done 3 games for the NEC PC 6001 that we've seen. 1 was done on the Atari home computer and the Apple II, and that was, Frogger. And then on the Arcadia 2001, they've done 2 games, and 2 for the Intex Adventure Vision. Awesome. This is the 8th game that we've seen by Tomy across all systems, and the second for the Tutor. North America will not see this computer until 1983, but because we play everything globally, here it is. This is what you can be able to play now. Yeah, of all the games we've played so far officially, this feels really good control-wise. I see the little animation. This reminds me of the controls more for the Atari home computer version. That was the official one. And again, of all the games we played on the Frogger series up to this point, it's really boiling down to this comparing to the Atari home computer version of Frogger, that's official, and the Apple II version of Frogger, that's official, and the TRS-80 version of Frogger, that's official. Officially, I mean, this really doesn't compete with the NEC PC 6001, but you gotta admit, this has charm. It's very well done Frogger. Yeah, I mean, the log graphics are awesome. I would say the best comparison is, for official Frogger, is the Atari home computer, at least the way it looks. Now, the way that this is running on the screen, though, notice how the frame rate of the cars and the logs, the turtles, and so forth, they seem to be going a little slow, or choppier, I should say. There's another game we played on the Texas Instruments home computer called T.I. Toad, and that game actually played and ran smoother than this. And the reason I'm comparing it to the Texas Instruments home computer is it's very, very similar architecture as this computer. So if you want a comparison of another Frogger-ish variant, check out T.I. Toad and compare that to this one. For all the games you can play right now, at least. I'm already seeing in the chat, another 4? Yeah, the music is also putting this one apart, which is nice. We got music while we're playing during the game. It's great. And up to this point, we played so many variants that I've seen what Frogger can do on home computers or be like. So, great showing, though. That was excellent. A quick taste of Frogger officially for the Tutor. Of all the games you can play across all home computers right now, all over the world in November 1982, this is still great. It's a great title. I already see possibly number 4 in the chat. It's Frogger. One thing that it doesn't have is it doesn't have that flip screen. We played a few Frogger games that they have multiple screens. You just walk to the top and see a little bit more. But yeah, over in the chat, I see some 4 stars. Yeah, it doesn't have monochrome graphics, but I wouldn't hold that against it compared to the TRS-80. Yeah, I'm going to say 4 as well. You could split hairs, but that's one reason why we only do a 5-star rating, is to give you just a general idea of the landscape for video games across all home computers right now. Yeah, 3.5 to 4. I'll also say 4. This is great. Excellent game. You'd have a lot of fun. And another reason why we wanted to showcase this computer, which sadly was poorly marketed as a child's computer, when you can play awesome Frogger on it. All right, but we're not done. Let's see what our next game is. Our next official Frogger, also released in the beginning of November 1982, is Frogger for the Philips Videopac G7000. Let's play some Frogger again. Starting with the box. Frogger. Now, this one's kind of an interesting one. This is for the home console that we saw originally in 1978. This console's been going on for a long, long time, so just bear that in mind. This is only available in Europe. So usually what happened was the Philips Videopac had releases on the North American version of it, which was called the Magnavox Odyssey 2. This game never came out on the Magnavox Odyssey 2 officially. It's only here in Europe. I'll let you decide whether that was a good choice or not. So here's the box. This one is by Parker Brothers, too. And we're going to see the other releases that are by Parker Brothers, too. That's right, Frogger with a handle. Here's the other artwork we have for Frogger. There it is. That's the cartridge on the Philips Videopac. That's what the handle's for. That's what I'm talking about. Parker Brothers has done mostly handhelds up to this point. We've seen 4 games that Parker Brothers has done at home up to this point, and we've already brought up Konami. This is also, with help from Konami, not actually done directly, just licensed by Konami. 31st game that we've seen by Konami. Oh man, I'm excited for this one too. What's going to happen? Here's the manual for Frogger for the Philips Videopac. Got instructions in all the languages. Yep, under license by Sega. Konami was the one that did it originally. Leapin' Frogger. We get a little bit of lore and story. How's Frogger going to get home? Man, they blew up the character of Frogger very well, so that's what we're going to look like. Here's the instructions with our controller in our hand. It's an 8-way digital joystick on the Philips Videopac, and we're going to be playing on the cartridge. The object of the game is hop as many frogs to safety as you can. We know how to play Frogger around here. Frogger's journey takes place on 2 different screens. Hey, 2 different screens again. Sweet. Once you reach the bank, you go to the next screen, very similar to what we just saw on the TRS-80 official Frogger. You got 5 different lives. Watch out for traffic. Does it say anything about the water? I don't think so yet. We already read in one of the manuals that the reason Frogger dies or drowns in the water, I know it's strange because he's a frog, it's because the current's just too strong. I think it says, yeah, there it says right there. We get sploosh sounds. Great manual. Oh, man, it makes me want to get a Philips Videopac and play Frogger right now, and that's what we're going to do. There it is. Because Frogger can't swim in the river, the current is too strong. Hop him from one row of logs, turtles, and alligators to cross over. And there's the turtles, logs, and diving turtles. They just break them down by color. There's our lady frog, hashtag lady frog. Alligators, snakes floating off screen. Excellent. How to jump home off the alligator's head. Yeah, this says they're boasting everything the arcade has, at least from a manual perspective. And then we have the game difficulty you can switch to. Now, the game difficulty you can't play or use the keyboard to switch to. It just plays every time you finish the screen, then it increases in difficulty. So you can see the difference as you progress. But you cannot, to my knowledge, you cannot switch to them like some of the Philips Videopac games. And then there's our score points for everything involved. Eating a fly, extra points for remaining time. There you go. Get those points. We're going to need them. All right. It's time to pop in and play Frogger for the Philips Videopac. Done by Peter Inser. Way to go, Peter. The beginning of November 1982. What am I hearing right now? We've heard a lot of Frogger. That was a little grainy. They just kind of went right into it. They showed us a brief introduction of Frogger, and then we are in. Another thing, too, is I usually am selecting the game. The game boots up to the screen, and you push the keyboard, but I didn't have to do that this time. It just went right into it. Whoa, Frogger's got a long jump. Okay, so I'm already in across the screen. It does not scroll to the next screen. It immediately just flips to the next screen. Wow, look at Frogger's jump. I feel like I should be jumping in between, but I'm going to be jumping all the way across that log. That's a good jump. I think this is the most powerful Frogger yet. Make it to the other side, and then you're back at the beginning. And as we progress, it's probably going to add more elements, like we saw in the manual. There's our lady frog, hashtag lady frog, and I can't jump to the left. I have to coerce the lady frog. Come on, she has to jump to me, because if I jump to the left, I will jump so far I will fly off the log into the water. All right, so of all the releases we've seen this evening for this episode, they've all been on home computers. Very different to scale what we've seen up to this point. This is on a home console. The only one that's official, that's competing with this one across all home consoles, is the official one for the Atari VCS. So it's an interesting gap when you have played all of them to play the Atari and this one. This is actually okay. And it's playing on, again, another home console that was released around the same time. In different regions, though. I'm not going to be able to make this one. Let's try it. Give me one that's not diving down. But play control-wise, it takes a little bit to get used to. I would say the controls are a little bit better on the Atari home computer. You can see this jump and breadth of Frogger. He moves around so fast. What? How did I make... Am I on 1 pixel there? I barely made... I'm glad they're letting me get away with it. All right, let's see if we can go all the way across. And we're getting a little bit of flicker. We have the flies. Everything's involved here from the arcade. There is no music. We heard a lot of tunes coming from the home computers. And so this feels eerily quiet. On the home consoles, though, not really. This is per the norm. This is kind of what I would expect for official Frogger. There's not a lot of official Frogger, or there's not a lot of Frogger variants for home consoles right now that you could play. On home computers, most of the 30 variants that we played up to this point of Frogger-like games have been on home computers. On console, though, no one's ripping off Frogger officially. You can't get away with it. And I was looking over the chat. There is the only a Chronologically Gaming website you can go to is our YouTube website. That'll have a lot of the information, and then YouTube also has links for to send you to places down below. Where's my Frogger? Oh, he's over by the score. He was behind my shoulder. I couldn't even see him. Yeah, so there's really nothing else you can compare this to. There's no variants of Frogger, and so because I really enjoy Frogger, I would have had a blast with this right now. The Atari version, yes, is better than this one, but if we think of all the video games you can be playing across all home consoles, this is still pretty good. I'm guessing they didn't bring it over to North America on the Odyssey 2 because of licensing. And wait, the music though, what's going on with that? Maybe that's something with the emulation. Yeah, Brad, the jump is a little too long. He does have animation though, which is a nice touch. Hashtag LadyFrog. Yeah, still plays well and is fun. The multiple screens too is a good way to mix up the gameplay. It isn't scrolling like the fancy TRS-80 version, but this is great fun. And think of all the home consoles that are in other countries too. That only Europe got this one. One of the jumps I did, it looked like I went between the turtles, which is a little strange. Can I make this? No, I'm not going to be able to make that. I still understand when I'm messing up. I can tell that it's me making the mistake. This still plays well for a home console right now. Yeah. Yeah, of all the games you can play across all home consoles, I'm looking over in the chat. I see a 3.5, 2 3.5s. Up to this point, November 1982, you would have a blast with this. And just remember, we're playing everything globally when games come out. I would have been sad that I missed this, that we didn't get to play this in North America on the Odyssey 2. It would have been a really good release for the Odyssey 2. So of all the games right now across all home consoles, yeah, I'm actually thinking about 3.5 stars. Yep, I'm seeing another 3.5. Oh yeah, James is going 2.5. Oh, and if you're a really fan of Frogger, Manly's going 4 stars. I won't go as high because it has a few things that are a little off or strange about it. And the 4-star game that we gave was for the official Frogger on the Atari. And so yeah, it's very good. Yeah, there's not much to choose from. Yeah, I'm with you there. Music is also another reason I'm bringing it down. Something strange about the way the tunes are. Possibly the emulation though on that one. Great times with Frogger. Man, that was so much fun. Well, sadly, that's where we got to put our video game playing on pause. Thanks so much for tuning in, joining me to play every single video game in order of release. We're going to continue our quest to do everything. If you check the links down below, the link that goes to all the video games we've ever played, I'm now doing something where I'm adding in all the games that people have said you missed this game. And I'm just putting it on the list, and I'm going to make it a backlog game. And what that means is I'm going to go back and play games on the backlog as not a live show, just something extra, and then I will be posting a video that is a massive video of all the games, for example, from the 1970s. A huge video, and in that video, I'll have all the holes completed, all the games on the backlog. So before we move forward to 1983, we're not going to get to 1983 yet. We still got about 700 games before we close out 1982. But before pressing forward to 1983, I'd like to have all the games finished from the past. So if you want to peruse the spreadsheet of all the games we've ever played and say, hey, you missed a game, please let me know, because I want to fill in as many holes as possible and never go back. I just want to move forward when we get to 1983. All right, so our video game playing is on pause, but we'll continue next time. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, it's time to hit the front lines of arcade gaming greats. And for the first time, one of the most influential shooters gets to be played officially at home. That's it for today, and like I always say, you can't stop the gamers, and you really can't stop the retro gamers. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.